trust me now. I've searched my whole life through. Been round this great wide.
Hi, and thanks again for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about drug addiction and the impact it is having on lives, either through a family member or a friend we know. Drug abuse can begin at any age, and recent studies reveal that even middle school students are engaging in these harmful drug behaviors. We're going to be talking with Patty McConaughey, Communications Manager for Minnesota Teen Challenge. It's a pleasure to have you here, Patty. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm going to be, I got to be honest, and I got to admit to you that this is a very dear and important subject to me because I have been affected by drug abuse through some family members. What is Minnesota Teen Challenge and who are you serving?
Well, Minnesota Teen Challenge is a recovery program and a treatment program. So there's two options for people, either a long-term recovery program or a shorter-term treatment program. But we serve teens and adults. Our name is Teen Challenge, but many of the people that we serve are adults. Approximately 450 people live with us on site and receive recovery services.
Okay, all right. Correct me if I'm wrong, according to the Department of Human Services, prescription pills are feeding Minnesota's drug epidemic. I found this astonishing. More than 15,000 people are dying each year from pain medication overdose, and what many of us don't know is that some of these addictions started with prescription drugs have increased to heroin. That brings me to the question, what services do you offer for teens and adults?
We offer addiction recovery services for people who are using any sort of chemical that is either illegal or used inappropriately, like a prescription pill. And you're absolutely right. Prescription medication and even sometimes over-the-counter medication can be abused, and then people can become addicted, either addicted to the feeling or actually addicted to the substance that they're using. Prescription pills have become such a big problem because they are so readily available, maybe in a grandmother's medicine cabinet, or somebody doesn't use all of their pills and they just store them in the cupboards. We really encourage people to make sure that they dispose of those medications properly, not flushing them down the toilet, but giving them to the sheriff's department or handing them in at one of the reception centers that are available for people around the city. We serve people on the broad spectrum of addiction, from those who are maybe they're seeking treatment for the first time, maybe they've just discovered they have a prescription pill addiction, all the way to someone who might have transitioned into a heroin, even an IV heroin use addiction, and maybe they've done that for years and years. So anyone along that spectrum can receive services with Minnesota Teen Challenge.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We're about to see a video clip. Do you want to talk about anything, what we're going to see before they show this piece of video?
You so rightly brought up prescription pill addiction, and the young woman in the video that we're going to be watching began using prescription pills, and it actually really destroyed her life. She wasn't able to take care of her son. She almost lost her marriage. But through Minnesota Teen Challenge, she was able to gain back so much of what she lost. And she's back with her family, and they're living together, and she's trying to get her nursing license back. So there's just a lot of great things happening for her. But as you watch the story, you can see and hear the pain in her heart as she went through that experience.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
The problem with trying to be perfect is that no matter how hard you try, perfection is something you'll never achieve. In 2008, I was married, had a great nursing job, and had just had a beautiful baby boy. It should have been the best time of my life. But instead, postpartum depression and anxiety had hit me like a brick wall. My fear of failing as a mom overwhelmed me, and on top of everything, I was dealing with migraines almost every day. I finally found relief when I was prescribed powerful pain medication, but the effects went far beyond the physical pain I was in. I couldn't get enough. Soon my life was one big tangle of lies, deceit, and manipulation. I was deep in addiction and couldn't even function without the use of those narcotics. My behavior was putting my patients and family at risk. I ended up getting my nursing license suspended, and I almost lost my husband and son as well. After an overdose almost took my life, I finally decided to get help. I came to Teen Challenge after everything else had failed. I was willing to give anything a shot, even a year away from my family. It turned out to be the best decision I've ever made. Today, I'm working on getting my nursing license back, and my family has not only been restored, it's been transformed. My life's still not perfect, but that's perfectly okay with me.
This is a very compelling clip here, and it's encouraging to those who are struggling with drug addiction, and you can see how this can affect not only the person who's addicted to the drug, but others that are around them. What makes Teen Challenge different than, say, another program that are offered out there?
Well, there are many good programs available for people who are struggling with an addiction, but Minnesota Teen Challenge serves teens and adults. That's one thing that makes us different. Also, the length of our program and the variety of our programs. So we have a shorter-term treatment program, but we also have that long-term option, and I believe that we're the only ones that offer anything like that. A person comes to us and stays for 13 to 15 months, depending on their needs, and they sometimes, if you've been in addiction for a long period of time, to regain a brand new life, that's the amount of time that you need to break that cycle. Also, we are a faith-based program, and I think that's probably the number one thing that makes us different. We try to serve people on their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, try to give them a foundation that they can stand on long after they leave our doors.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more on that one, especially with the faith-based. Your stats for recovery are incredible. I know you have 3 different locations, Minneapolis, the Brainerd, and the Duluth area. How can someone get into one of your programs?
We have an application online, but also someone can just simply call the number online during business hours, and they can do that application over the phone with our admissions department. Sometimes filling out a lot of paperwork when you just want to start something rolling. This could actually really help you just to give a call to our admissions department, get that thing going. So that's going to be mntc.org. You go to that website. There's applications for all of our programs there, but also there's the number for the admissions department, and they can talk you through the whole
Wonderful.
process.
Very good. If someone is interested in one of the programs, how much would something like this cost, and is it something that perhaps a medical plan would cover?
Well, financial assistance is based on need for a lot of our programs. So we try to be the most affordable program available. That's just one of our goals. But for each person, that's going to look different. So if someone has insurance, we do accept most insurances for our shorter term program. For our long term program, because it's a recovery program, there are other financial means available to people. And then 90% of people pay no out-of-pocket costs.
Patty, I really appreciate you coming here and talking about all this really important information for our youth and for adults out there. You guys are doing a great job over there. God bless you. I want to remind everybody too that if you or someone you know is in need of help, please don't wait. Call Minnesota Teen Challenge today. To get more information about their full range of services that are offered in multiple locations around the state, you can also visit them on their website at mntc.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.